under the pale moonlight. Vinny and Phil bring the shadows to life. Tales of the ghostly whispers in the night. Bigfoot and aliens ready for the strife. The darkness thickens, the air is cold. Haunting stories waiting to unfold. Supernatural Sundays, the veil is thin. Join us in the chaos, let the night begin. With every whisper and each chilling tale, dare to believe where shadows prevail. EVPs echo through the haunted trees. Demons lurk as the chill hits with ease. But the caps rolling with gets to amaze. Cryptids and spirits were lost in the haze. Northmen in the foliage, watch your back. Dogmen prowling, ready to attack. Supernatural Sundays, the veil is thin. Join us in the chaos, let the night begin. With every whisper and each chilling tale, dare to believe where shadows prevail. Moving in the foliage, watch your back. Through the prowling, ready to attack. Supernatural Sundays, the veil is thin. Join us in the chaos, let the night begin. With every whisper and each chilling tale, dare to believe where shadows prevail. So tune in next week, fear in your soul. Darkness awaits, let the stories unfold.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Supernatural Sundays. We got a new special guest tonight, Michelle Heaton, and she comes to us via Louisiana tonight. And a little bit about Michelle: she's into Bigfoot, Sasquatch, does some paranormal investigating. She sees dead people. Do you also hear them too, there, Michelle? Or
What's that?
do you hear the dead people too, or just see them?
Yeah, talk to them.
We've got Gary on our team. Gary hears them, but he can't see them. He just once in a while sees
Yeah,
the
you
shadow.
said that. Yeah, that's cool.
Definitely
That's cool.
a clairaudient.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you want to tell us just a little bit about yourself or how you got into the paranormal, or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure. So, I've been in this world since I was 5 years old. I started having dreams about Bigfoot when I was 5, and it just evolved when I was 15. I started having mediumship. So people who had passed who I knew had started visiting me in my dreams. And then it's just been evolving ever since.
And they say as you get older, sometimes your gifts develop more, and then you kind of learn how to use them better. I know, like our guy Gary, he hears stuff. He always thought he was just talking to dead people, but we've had a couple incidents where he was getting a name, and we're driving along the car, and he keeps getting the same name. We pull up to the cemetery, we get out, and the guy gets out of the truck, and he's like, "Yeah, I just want to let you know my name's Ernie." And all the way there, he was saying, "Ernie wants to talk to you. Ernie this, Ernie that." I'm like, "I don't know an Ernie." And as soon as we get there, this guy walks up. He's like, "Hi, I'm Ernie." And I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Gary, they're not all dead people you're talking to or hearing." So it was pretty wild. But shout out to Ernie Pack with Pac-Man Paranormal and his wife Denise. We actually met him up in the Casey Cemetery that night. So it was pretty cool. But I've tried to talk to Ernie a couple. I think he's heard this story, but yeah, Gary was picking up Ernie all the way there.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, I got into Bigfoot when I was in like junior high school, and then I was always, when I go to the library, I go straight to the mythology and all the weird stuff. I'm reading all about ghosts and Bigfoots and the Patty pictures. And it was like after that, I'm doing term papers on Bigfoot and all that kind of stuff. I actually had a neighbor. He was a big Swedish fellow. Like, if you ever see those Magnuson contests where the guys lift up tires and pick up weights, and he was one of those big Swedish guys, and huge guy. And his brother produced TV commercials, and somehow he got his hands on a gorilla suit, an actual Hollywood gorilla suit that you would use in a commercial. And they called one night and said, "Hey, we used to raise pheasants and chickens." And the neighbor, his wife called, said, "Hey, there's something out here getting after your pheasants or your chickens. You better go out there." So I go running outside with a flashlight. I didn't know. She called back, called my dad. Mom said, "Hey, we're pranking him." I had no clue. I get out there, and he comes up behind the shed, and we're talking 400-pound man, 6 foot. He's huge, and in the gorilla suit. And all I see in the dark is this. I'm thinking it looks like Bigfoot in the dark, and I'm running to the house. "Dad, get the gun, get the camera. There's the Bigfoot." And by the time I come up there, he's out in the middle of the yard. The porch lights are on, and our dogs are going nuts and everything. And then when he finally took the mask off, I think we were all like catatonic, because it was like, oh. But that's probably one of the best pranks. He went to a lot of put in a lot of effort just to prank the neighbor kid. So I never forgot that. But that's kind of how that was my catalyst to, like, okay, now I'm locked in now. I gotta check out this whole Bigfoot thing. So
right.
That's kind of how I got into it. Yeah.
Cool.
So you've been out in the field a little bit looking for some Bigfoots, or?
Yeah. So I had these dreams my whole life, and then I've always kind of been looking, but not. It was a hobby,
Yeah.
And I moved to Oregon, which is where I live now. I'm in New Orleans visiting, and I moved to Sweet Home, and it was appalling. I felt like this is where I should be. and I learned the trail system. And I just started going out and exploring, and I had these bumper stickers on my car that had Bigfoot on them. And I would go into the grocery store and come out of the grocery store, and there would be like men standing by my car waiting to tell me about the sighting that they had.
Oh, wow.
And they would be like forest firefighters, loggers, hunters, sportsmen, fishers. If all from the area, must be home area.
Wow.
So I learned all these spots. I started taking reports. I went to the river. I got reports. They don't technically take reports. But they do reports. They'll write them down, but they don't file them. Right. So they started giving me locations and stuff. And I started researching the locations. And I found them.
Did in your dreams are they just like Bigfoot's walking by, or are they like trying to communicate with you, or you're like getting attacked, or what kind of interaction are you having on that type of level?
Yeah, I can tell you about it. It was a reoccurring dream. When I was little, I thought it was a nightmare. So I was in an old house, and I knew that because it didn't have electricity. There wasn't a TV. There was a screen door with a wooden screen door. Really old. And there was a big picture like in a living room kind of area. And I was looking out the picture window, and I would see this Bigfoot walk up on the porch, and he'd open up the screen door, and he'd have to duck down to the door, and he would come walking towards me, and instantly I would freak out, and I'd turn around and take off running out the back door, and I would go running across the field. And I remember the field was barley or something because it wasn't as high as I had. It wasn't like corn. And I would turn around and look, and he'd walking right behind me. So in a very nautical way, but it still scared the heck out of me. So fast forward to when I was 19, and my aunt took me. I woke up one morning and I went downstairs. I told my mom, and so she called my aunt, and my aunt said she had friends who were psychics. She took me to one of her friends, and her friend told me to confront it and ask him to stop me. So I did. That night or right after. I had another dream, and when he came in the door, someone summoned him towards me, and I got right in his face, and I said, please stop staring me. You're frightening me. I can't handle this anymore. And so 2 weeks later, maybe I had another dream. And this time he'd outside behind this big tree. It was like a big oak tree. It had a big trunk. And he would just look at me. He'd be sit down behind it and look around the side of it and watch me. And that was the dream that I continue to have now. So when I came to home and I started researching Sasquatch, those dreams really just kind of disappeared. And I had a couple of sightings. And when the second sighting that I asked him, "Who are you?" In my head, and instantly I got, "I'm the one who's helping you. I'm the Sasquatch from your dreams." So I was just like, it went full circle, you know. Yeah, it was amazing. And I was like, oh my God, that's what this is all about. You know? That's why I'm here researching Sasquatch. Like, I was meant to do this.
The they suppose there's a lot of people that have come through saying that they communicate telepathically. They're communicating. There's a couple different researchers I know that do long term deep immersion type research, and several of them reported what they call a watcher Bigfoot or watcher Sasquatch. It sounds like what you're talking about, where it kind of stays behind a tree or behind a rock somewhere, and you just kind of might get a glimpse of it popping out, but it's always watching. And then we've ran into some stuff before in like a cemetery where we don't know what it was. We picked it. We got a picture. It showed up in a picture, but then there's some other intuitives that have been to those same cemeteries and said there's a watcher in that cemetery. Very much like the Bigfoot's watching. They think it's a spirit. Some people think Bigfoot's supernatural. It's interdimensional, like our dog man here in Kentucky. They say it's interdimensional. People see it running and his legs disappear and it goes into like a circle of light and it disappears so
I've actually seen that. I've seen. I don't know. I guess I thought they were like I don't know, messengers or some kind of watcher, but they're black shadow. And I only saw them from the waist up, but they were big, and they looked like football players. They were holding a football. They were just running across the road.
Huge.
Huge, right? But it was cool. I had a friend with me, and he saw him too. Yeah. And that was over in my area.
Sometimes, like they move so fast, it'll look like a shadow or like a blur, or you might catch it out of the corner of your eye. And we've ran into some stuff like that down in Tennessee, where out of the corner of our eye we saw something run around a building real quick. We're like, what was that? It's so fast you couldn't tell what it was, and you caught it out of the corner of your eye, and then you run around there and you're looking for footprints and everything.
They were super fast. Yeah.
I've got a couple of your pictures. If you would like, I could pull them up. You can kind of talk to them.
Sure.
Some of your research, and I kind of know what some of them are, but the folks back home might need a little more explanation. And then I've got a couple pictures here that look like something paranormal too. So I can pull up the Bigfoot stuff, and then maybe we can slide in the paranormal. And then I've got a few videos this week that you can help me critique those and see what you think. I want your honest opinion. I like to get different points of view to see, what do you think? You think that's fake AI? You think that's legit? And there's a lot of stuff out there, and we do some fun stuff too. I got a couple fun things I'm going to throw in. But
awesome.
Pull up a couple pictures here, and hopefully our microphones will still work. Looks like this looks like a footprint that maybe has had some water filled up, like in a boggy area. Or
so that is a old asphalt logging trail, and it gets moss on it. And that was the spring. The week before I had went up there, and it was pristine. And I went up there a week later, and there was like 50 prints. And they were all different sizes. So all the pictures that you have there, the prints and the moss are all from the same area. Yeah, that was the toll trail.
This one, this is what we would probably refer to as a trackway.
Yeah,
where you could see all his prints. Any idea on the measurements between those strides, like between the prints?
Yeah, actually. So the prints from about 8 inches to 18 was the largest one. So we had a really clear prints of left and right of 18 inch. And we did measure two prints, and it was 10 feet.
Oh wow.
I am not even kidding. But
Maybe he was running.
What I think, yes, yeah, they were running because some of the prints had slide, and then their toes would slide under the moss there. So you
It's like moss.
can stick your fingers.
It's like moss growing over asphalt there or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And so you can stick your fingers underneath there, and you feel every single toe print.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show a couple more of these.
Yeah.
That one there, you can see a toe, and it doesn't look like a human footprint at all the way the toes are, and it's kind of like almost like a gorilla the way it's splayed out there.
Yeah.
The fact that you've got two different size prints, do you think it was like a juvenile and a maybe a mom or like an older one and a younger one traveling together there?
There were four.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we got 18 inch, 15 inch, 10 inch, and then we had some that were like 8 inches. And I think it was a mixture between another juvenile possibly or some elk. Because the elk, when they step on that and they push it back, it pushes it up and it'll kind of look like a small footprint.
Okay. Yeah, elk are those hoofs go in pretty deep, kind of like a giant deer print. You can see where that one kind of slid. He was.
Yep. He slid there. There's a little slide, and then I think his foot caught the moss up there when he lifted up his foot.
It kind of 10-inch stride or 10 foot between strides kind of rules out a bear too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And they weren't perfectly lined up there where a bear would be. You know,
okay.
like how they kind of. It wasn't
how they kind of waddle along there.
Yeah.
We I don't think I have it up here. Me and Jeff went up to Mammoth Cave, and we were mushroom hunting actually, and we kept smelling something. Smelled like something dead, and then normally if it's a dead animal, as you go, you can smell it and you'll get closer and find the dead animal. This would kind of come and go, and then it finally just dissipated and it was gone, and we're like, it was so strong, you'd swear you were like 10 foot away from a dead animal, and then it was just gone. But we found a kind of a weird footprint, and it was down in kind of a sandy area where the water had washed through. And it was kind of hard to tell what it was. We thought maybe somebody's boot got when it was wet, and then it kind of washed out. But then I went back with some plaster, and I walked around for 2 hours, and I went right back to where I thought the spot was, and it's almost like it was gone, but there was a stick stuck in the ground there that wasn't there the day before. So I'm like, somebody messing with us or something's messing with us. But it was just kind of weird. Went back and, I found the sinkhole, I found the log, I found the snail, where there was a snail crawling in a hole. I found all that stuff and the little wildflowers, and I go right back to it. And then it's like the whole area's been kind of disrupted and a big stick stuck in the ground. I'm like, is that Bigfoot's telling me up yours or it was weird, but that smell came and gone.
Yeah. No, I've smelled that as it comes and goes.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's like if it's a dead deer, you'll just walk up and find it. I'm like, oh, there he is. You could your smell get more intense the closer you.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've heard that they will cover up their prints.
That's what I was wondering was going on. That's almost what it seemed like. And me, I'm still learning. So it's like I had 2 gallons of water and like almost 12 pounds of plaster. It was a big footprint. I'm like, I'm going to get this whole footprint, I've got a couple more pictures here. These look like some kind of tree structures.
Yep. So that's one that we found in Washington. They were crossed over a path.
It looks. I see like 3 different. There's trees and on the right and left, and then there's crisscross behind it.
Yeah,
Kind of
yes, yes.
So
The ones that are coming out of the ground, but those two trees that are crisscrossed are at I would say at least 30 feet long
okay.
and heavy.
And if the wind blowed them, they'd all kind of be going the same way, you would think. And
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
that one looks like you could almost.
They were woven like further down. I have more pictures on them, but they were kind of weaving in between these trees. So, and that looks like a glyph. It's a sign.
Yeah, because like some of them you can almost see the roots, like where they put them in upside down, which a tree falling over, the roots would still be on the ground. It wouldn't be.
Yep. Yeah, we found a tree that was upside
down. When you find a really big one upside down, the only time I've seen anything like that nature did it was Mount St. Helens. I've seen trees that got blasted out of the ground, and we actually saw a truck where the root ball was going through the engine in the front of the truck. It was like intense force from the volcano. Yeah. There's another interesting structure.
Yeah, that was right next to the cliff.
Wow.
Yeah.
They say these are like, maybe they're like their trail markers or territory markers or like warnings, or what do you think they are?
Yeah, I don't know. I think markers, trail mark stuff. We find a lot of structures around areas that we think might be nurseries. Like that. I thought that was a nursery.
Yeah, I know. I've talked to Maria Mayer a couple times, and she's on that expedition Bigfoot program, and I've talked to her in person a few times, and she's found some weird things that look kind of like nests. But the one thing with her, she's an actual scientist, just like Dr. Meldrum or Bendernagel or anybody that's been out, but she's actually found cryptids in other countries that they thought were extinct or didn't exist. Little monkeys and different things, and she was working with Jane Goodall before she passed away, and they were talking to some tribes down in South America, and they were looking for what they were calling, they referred to it as a monkey that walks upright with no tail, and Jane had a couple hits back from some of the tribes. She kind of put the word out, and about 2 months later she got a call, and they're like, this one tribe they've seen one of these monkeys with no tail that walks upright, and so they may end up doing an expedition down there. But Maria's actually came back to Kentucky. She's been here twice, came back on her own dime, on her own time, and came back. A lot of people don't put that on the show, but she's actually came back on her own because she's had some pretty weird experiences.
Yeah, I like Kentucky. I've been to Mammoth Cave. Love it.
We go to there's an old church up there, Joppa Church we go to, and something weird happens almost every time we go up there. We've had people's car headlights turn on, and we've had some really weird stuff come through our spirit boxes, and the vandals have broken out some windows and whatnot. So now by 8 o'clock at night you have to leave. Used to you could go up there, stay all night, nobody cared, but now since they vandalized some things, they've got cameras set up, and so if anybody wants to go to Mammoth Cave and investigate, you got to go during the daytime. And I even asked about permits. I brought up the fact that Expedition X went into the cave, and they're like, well, that was during the daytime. So you can't really tell in a cave, but they said, yeah, we don't issue any permits or anything, which is kind of a shame because it's a big area. It'd be great to, if you're just going out in the woods, I don't think they really care. But some of the historical properties like the churches, that's where they were cracking down a little more. We had the Rangers show up on us one night, and we're like, okay, time to go.
Right.
This one looks like a big X that they put like between the trees there. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. So the story with that is, me and excuse me, I have allergies. So me and one of my research partners, that area was where we found the trail. And we decided that we were going to put a cam up So we went down the trail, and we put the trail cam. And the way that he put it on a tree that was slanted over the path, and it was aiming down towards the trail. And the last picture we got was Eric walking out of frame. And as soon as he got all the way out of the frame, the camera tilted up, which is absolutely not possible according to the laws of gravity. If it moved, it should have moved down because it was leaning down.
So something had to lift that trail cam up.
Absolutely. Yep. So we came back to get it. And those two axes, there's actually two axes there. Those two axes were there.
I see one to the upper right there, and I don't know if people can see my mouse or not, but the upper right, and then there's one right in the middle.
Yep.
We got a comment from Cindy. She's saying, "I think they're interdimensional."
I think so too.
If they're communicating to you in a dream state, then that's definitely something on a different frequency communicating.
Yep.
Through
and I saw it. My second sighting, I saw him appear and disappear. Just out of thin air.
They say the same thing about Dogman down here. Martin Groves, guys, wrote a lot of the books, and he's probably one of the more believable witnesses because he was a sheriff and he had another deputy with him at the time. And the other gentleman that got attacked was a fireman. So he said it, looked like it ran into like a circle, almost like a circle of fire or light. It just disappeared. And then another occurrence, I might have mentioned, they said that it was running, like keeping up with their car, their truck running alongside, and it's looked down and it looks like its legs were disappearing, like going invisible. And I've also had numerous reports where it runs alongside of your truck and it'll try to reach in the window and grab you, like run along on two legs. And I got another comment. Cindy said she'd love to smell that one time. We've got another.
Can I read into that real quick?
Yeah.
So I don't know where you are, Cindy, but in Boring, Oregon, Cliff Barrick is what we call the North American Sasquatch Center. And he has a sample that was created in a laboratory of a smell smells exactly like it.
Oh, well, that'd be cool.
It is the craziest thing. I smelled it and I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is what I smelled. Yeah.
Cindy looks like she's in Louisville, Kentucky. And then we've got another lady commenting from, I'm not sure where she's from, but she's saying Oregon most definitely has a large population.
Yeah. They absolutely do. They're everywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier too. The ones in Oregon and Washington are usually between 10 feet tall. And the ones in Alaska are like between 10 and 15 feet tall.
Wow.
So I don't know if I go to Alaska. That would overwhelm me.
Well, they say a lot of people don't realize there's different parts of Alaska that are more. The climate's more like a rainforest. So when you get up north by like where the pipeline goes up in the Arctic, pretty damn cold up there. But down around Kodiak Island, it actually doesn't get cold enough. The bears don't hibernate down there. They stay awake year round. There's enough food, salmon, and different things for them to eat, and the climate is warm enough, and they get enough food. They stay awake all year. So that would make sense for a Bigfoot. We don't know if they hibernate, or especially if they're interdimensional. We just don't know.
Well, we kind of know that they hibernate because we find prints all the time.
In the snow, yeah.
Yeah.
I just seen another picture. Here's a print. Somebody's got their foot there, and
that's my foot. And I have got a really big foot.
Yeah, my girlfriend Cammy has she's got like a size 11. So her thing is she loves those sparkly flip flops up at the Love's truck stop. They're like a flip flop with like sparkle things on them, and
Yeah,
could never
yeah.
find her size. So every time we see a truck Love's, we're stopping in, and this went on for about a year. And I think about a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago on her birthday, we went to a Love's in Illinois. She got like 3 pairs. She was so excited because
That's awesome.
the struggle was real trying to find
Yeah,
flip. They had to be the sparkly ones though.
Sure, absolutely.
And you can see some toes. Looks like toes up here.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Did anybody cast any of these or?
Nope. At the time we were starting in this, we didn't have any cast materials. So we have now we all have casting material in our vehicles. So
is there one material better than others? Because I just went and got straight plaster of Paris. I've heard there's other stuff that's better, but
I prefer the dental casting.
Oh, like dental, like making like for your teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's reasonably priced. You can get it on Amazon. You add like warm water, not hot, warm water, and as it cools, it sets really fast.
That's a nice feature when you're out there waiting for it to dry and you're hoping the Bigfoot don't come back.
Yeah, and you're hoping somebody doesn't kill it. Like it happened with Jason Kenzie. He cast some prints and went back and we're gone.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another looks like underneath like maybe a root ball or one of the like nursery type. Maybe they get in there when it's really cold and.
Maybe I thought it was really interesting because it had a bunch of those really big logs against it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was weird.
Here's this one here was trying to do an algebra problem or something. I'm not sure what he's trying to.
Those are really cool structure. I don't know.
Do you think? I would think a small one. People could do it. If it's a small one, but if it's great big, like a person can't lift that. You'd have to have like 10 guys and ropes, and you'd probably find evidence all around on the forest floor where they would have been walking around or where they'd hooked up all their equipment, or heavy equipment's going to leave tracks. I mean,
totally. Yeah. And we know because we're local, we know where the loggers are.
So you'd know if they went in there with a fella buncher machine or something like that.
Yeah, totally. These are old logging trails, and those structures, those trees are so huge. They're so even if you still lift it, you couldn't lift the whole thing. You know.
That'd be cool to go out there where some of these structures are probably some of them still there because.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Maybe
some of them you can have been there for years because
moss on them.
Mm-hmm.
What'd be cool is if they had like a person that is like, okay, this person's 6 foot, and have them stand in front of it. Maybe something like that to get a better scale. I know the trees.
I usually do have somebody stand next to it. I've got tons of pictures. I just chose the ones I thought would be the best. I guess.
Like if you go like the Olympic Peninsula in Washington, if you've never been there, it looks like on the Star Wars Jedi, where the Ewoks lived out there. That's what it looks like. The moss and the trees are just enormous. It's like all of the trees out there would probably be like the state record tree here. I mean, some of they're like a 20-foot diameter tree out there. They're like all that big. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
If you ever haven't been out there, it's probably worth the drive to go out. I want to go back sometime and see the giant redwoods and sequoias because I was just a little guy, like 2 years old when we went. I'd like to go back and see those, experience them. We went to Devil's Tower last year. Year before last, and they say it looks kind of like a giant stump. The Devil's Tower. It's been like a petrified tree, but they've done a lot of studies, and they think it's more of a volcanic pressure uprising, but it does look like a big stump.
I think it does too. Yeah.
I've got a couple more pictures here. These I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Maybe you can. It looks kind of like something paranormal.
So that there's three pictures. One of the two circles, and then I made them bigger. So that's some people would say it's flare. I think portal.
Yeah, I was going to say portal because it's localized and it's taking the same foliage and like bending it into a circle, where a lens flare would be like a little green ball of light or a little white ball of light or something that moves everywhere you move, but that's kind of localized on that tree there in the middle. That's
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if a drop of water would do that or not, because it's even those would look like a drop of water. That doesn't look like a drop of water. It looks like something in the foliage is just kind of like morphed.
It was taken with the phone, and none of the other pictures like that.
So it's like, all right, what is that?
Yeah. So if you go to the next picture.
This one?
No, go to the next one. That one right there.
Okay.
That was directly across from the orb one or whatever it is. And that looks like those shadow tree that I was seeing. And it looks like it's out of a portal.
It almost looks like something is trying to morph out of that tree, like a pressure dimensional disturbance. Like you can see the waves, where it's rippling, like when you drop a pebble in water and the ripples come out.
Exactly.
That's pretty bizarre.
Nobody can tell me that is metal, especially with those two in the same picture, like right across from there. There's something on.
We were in a cemetery, and some people have been doing some things they probably shouldn't have been doing. Some kind of ritual where they had two mirrors facing each other. And we're not sure if they were doing something demonic or whatever, some kind of ritual or trying to conjure up something. But when we got there, the mirrors were broke, but they were facing each other. So it's almost, if you were trying to open some kind of portal, or if you're out there messing around with the Ouija board and opening up something that you don't know what you're doing and you can't get it closed up, they say break the mirror is one way to, but then you may permanently, whatever it is, turn it loose. But it's almost like you had something on one side doing that portal looking thing, and now you got this on the opposite side, almost like there's mirrors. It kind of reminded me of that whole mirror thing that they were doing.
Yeah, me too. It was so strange.
And we don't understand what's going on with these things when something's morphing in and out and getting ready to disappear. It could be opening up. And one of my theories, some of these different things, I think they're time travel. Sometimes there's some time travel going on. And if you were sending a spacecraft or a person, anything through time, it's going to have to bend matter around it to be able to go through time. Because you don't know it's going to open. If you ever watch Back to the Future and the DeLorean pops out in a cave, or it pops out in somebody's backyard, or it runs over a tree or whatever, while it's traveling through time, it's going to have to bend matter all around it. And you hope that thing doesn't come back in the next time zone in the middle of a mountain or in the middle of a rock or whatever. But my theory is that some of these things have like a bubble around them that allows the matter to bend around them while they're traveling. And then, like my whole theory on the Skinwalker Ranch, I think it's like a giant ship, some kind of time traveling ship that when it popped into whatever time it popped into, it's inside that mace. I don't know if you followed any of the Skinwalker stuff, but that mountain, they drilled into it and they're finding stuff on underground ground penetrating radar. They've drilled in it. They're coming back with weird metallic substances on their bits. They're hitting something. It's like a dome shape. I'm thinking, what if it's some kind of craft that was time traveling, and it popped into this time inside the mountain, and it can't go anywhere. It's trapped in there, but it's still got this field around it, so the mountain doesn't crush it, and it's just stuck in there. And all the weird activity you get is something's trying to communicate. You know, maybe one day they'll blast open and they'll find some people in there, because they're saying the materials they're drilling are the same type of materials that NASA uses on spaceships. So they're like, okay, what would NASA material be doing inside a mountain? You know, so maybe some of these portals are, you know, if they're dropping off Bigfoot and picking him up, maybe that's what you're capturing in that instant where something's opening or closing, kind of like Stargate, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It almost looks like you got it. Is this the same one?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how you put the two pictures together? Or?
No, it's one picture.
Okay. Because I see this one in the middle, and then okay, now I see what you're saying. The one on the middle was the first picture, and the one on the left is the other, where it's like something's morphing it out of that tree.
Right, right. Yeah, that's what my mind was. That they were in the same picture.
Did anybody go up and look at that tree on the left? Is there like a big hole in the tree, or is it?
No. We were there. There's nothing in that tree.
So when you go up and look at the tree, it's just solid. It don't have that weird looking.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's right on a ridge.
Wow. There's a lot of stuff out there we do not understand.
We see orbs and stuff all the time. We've seen them as big as a car and as small as like a volleyball.
And when you see one of those, is it like clear? Is it illuminated, or is it like the one at Skinwalker that they captured by accident? They went back with surveillance footage because they've got security cameras everywhere. It was like silver. It almost looked like that monument they have in Chicago where you go up there. It's like a big giant gazing ball.
The bean.
Like, yeah, the bean. It's kind of like the bean, but it wasn't shaped like the bean. But it was like chrome looking like that, and it just appeared for a couple seconds. It was gone, like right in the middle of a cow pasture.
Yeah,
they cannot explain it. But is it kind of like that? Something like that?
No, they're like a plasma, kind of pulsate.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're blue.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is bizarre.
It
is. We need to do some more surveillance out there. I've got a couple more pictures here.
No, I don't want anybody out there.
You afraid something might happen to them?
Yes. I feel really protected with that area. Not only that, but the locals they trust me, and I don't want to get mad at me for bringing a whole bunch of people up there. You know.
Yeah. There's a couple other folks I know that are. It's kind of like a mushroom hunting spot or a fishing spot. It's like
exactly.
You want to tell everybody, and you don't want a bunch of people in there traipsing around. If you've got some kind of relationship going on with the cryptid, Bigfoots, or Dogman, or whatever you're interacting with, somebody else coming in may disrupt everything and run them out of the area. Or I completely understand that. Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking it would be interesting to try to get more evidence of these blue orbs. You know, maybe you or your team could go back out and set up some more cameras.
Absolutely.
I'm the type of person. I'm like, okay, blindfold me and take me out wherever, and then blindfold me and take me back. I wouldn't know what the hell it was anyway. I'm not going to bring a GPS or anything just to experience it. I think that's what Cindy was referring to. She'd like to just actually go smell what we smelled, I completely understand. There's a lot of different, and like researchers are very protective, and that's one thing Maria wants to do. If we can establish solid evidence of these things, she wants to set aside, preserves for them, and she's done that in. I'm trying to think. I think it's Madagascar. There was some little monkey she discovered, and they thought they didn't even know it existed. It was a new species, so she went and they actually took a guy. He had like a blow dart and tranquilized him, and caught them in a net safely. And she extracted some of their blood and DNA, and she's got it in a like a cryo chamber somewhere. So if that species ever gets to the point where it's going to be extinct, and they didn't know they even existed, she could clone them and try to, bring them back, preserve the species. And then she went to I guess it's the president or whatever of that country, and met with him. And there was a little boy used to come with her, like do research and come to their camps and everything. And as he got older, he got into being a ranger. And now he is a ranger over that whole area. And when she met with the president, they've got a whole preserve set aside for these little monkeys. They'll fit in your hand. They're little tiny. And so she's done all these different conservation efforts to try to save the environment for these animals. And this guy's a ranger's, and he grew up with her and her research group. Like they had like camps where kids could come, and he grew up with all that. Now he's a grown man, and he actually helps protect all the little monkeys and stuff they discovered. So it's kind of generational now at this point, some of the stuff she's done. So I really think if she finds one, she's going to do everything she can to try to preserve the area, protect them, that kind of thing.
I hope nobody ever finds them.
Yeah, you hope if they do, they're just like, okay, I believe them now. I'm out of here. They're not gonna.
Yeah,
a lot of the guys I know are very protective. Like I got a guy here in Kentucky, which I could probably show you one of the footprints. He's up by Carrollton, and he's very protective of his research area, and which I completely understand. You don't want some yahoos in there trying to shoot them or whatever, because they're a lot like us. I mean, that's why a lot of hunters won't shoot at one, because they think it might be a person that's went feral or a different type of subspecies or whatnot. But I see exactly where you're coming from.
It's frightening to me. I don't see anything good happening. I don't know. It makes me really uncomfortable.
Well, that's a good thing. You're helping protect them too. But it's good to get the information out there so people understand, what's going on out there and what people are experiencing. And I think the more we research, the more we'll know what's going on. This picture, I think, is something paranormal. It looks like a ghost picture or something.
Yeah, that's a ghost picture. So that picture in the dungeon under the mark in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
And so the story with that is that me and my ex-husband wanted to go investigate the dungeon. But the only way he could get into the dungeon is if you take a ghost tour. So we were like, okay, we'll take a ghost tour. So we went down and we were like a group of like maybe 15 or 20 people. And we got down there and we were just standing there listening to a tour guide. And I felt something blow and whisper in my ear, and then it brushed up against my face, and my hair like that. And my ex-husband saw it, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So we got the attention of everybody right away. And everyone turned around, and they had these chains that kind of cordoned off these sections of the dungeon down there. And the chains marked the ships that came over from Africa.
Oh, okay.
And so the link are these great big giant iron links that weigh like 30 pounds each. So we look, and this chain is ringing back and forth.
Oh wow!
And nothing else is doing that. Like none of the other doing that. So it's not an earthquake. And so my ex-husband went over there and stopped it. And when it was he had it like stopped. He let go of it, and instantly it just started swinging again. And
the
tour guide
so
funny. She goes,
I think
it's
our
our
cue to leave.
And so she's rushing us out of there. And I'm like, no, this is why we paid. We paid $45 for this.
Yeah, we want the whole experience.
Right. Like, this is why we're here. And everybody else is like, oh, later, you know. So as I'm trying to like follow these guys out, at the same time I'm trying to stay as far away from them as possible. I'm taking pictures of everything, right? Because I just want to document this. And that was a picture that showed up, and it's very clearly a man in like some kind of window. It's so weird.
Yeah, it almost looks like a face with a face on top, or he's wearing a hat or something. But the bottom middle window, you can see his face, his nose, and everything. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's several things there, but I see right in the center. I see an African American man, and I think he's the one that was blown in my ear.
Could be. There's a lot of places we like to go. The more popular places are active, and the prices are just getting to be ridiculous.
Oh man!
So
and this was 20 years ago.
Yeah, and sometimes we'll just go on the public tour or the public hunt with everybody because we're like, we don't care. We'll meet some new people. We might learn something from them. They can learn something from us. But it's like it's just ridiculous when they want $2,000 or $3,000 just to go and investigate something, for the night. And you don't know if you're going to get evidence or not. There's no guarantee. It's kind of like fishing. Sometimes you get something, sometimes you don't. But it's like, a couple of us are working, and some of us are. I got people on my team. They're on fixed incomes and whatnot, and it's like not everybody's got $3,000. I don't. We're not. It's just some we did. I think we did Waverly a couple years ago, and it was $1,100 then, but we had 10 people, and they let us bring in other teams. So, we had a team out of Texas. We had 3 teams out of Kentucky, 1 out of Ohio, and we had another team out of Missouri who was supposed to show up, but they canceled. But we had enough people that paid for everything, But it was some of these places. It's like, okay, it's $3,000, and I only got 6 people, and what are you gonna do? So it's like we'll go on public night when it's like $60, or $30, like you're saying. Yeah, we don't mind doing that. It's kind of a shame they charge so much, because.
You can charge. Just don't charge much. I think it's greedy.
Then your hobby turns into a very expensive hobby, and a lot of us are doing this as a research hobby. It's not. Some folks have built into a business or a way to pay.
If you think about it, like a lot of these historical places, they're just as much mine as they are yours.
Right.
Who owns them? I don't get it.
Like, that's what I don't understand. Like Mammoth Cave, if they were to issue permits, there's a lot of teams wouldn't mind paying $100, $200, whatever for the night. Like Perryville Battlefield, you can go up here to Perryville Battlefield, Perryville, Kentucky. It's around $250 for the night, and they don't. I think they have a minimum of you have to have a minimum of 6 people or something like that. It changes, but if you get 3 or 4 teams in there, 'cause it's a big area, then you kind of justify it, and then the money goes to the historical society and to maintain the grounds and maintain it's
okay.
That's
understandable.
Yeah, and so we don't mind and if it's privately owned, I understand they have overhead, they have taxes to pay, that kind of stuff too. But some of them are just getting pretty extreme on the prices.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I got one more paranormal picture here, and I see 2 guys, maybe, and a child, and something else going on there.
So this picture taken in the crypt in the Washoe Club, or not the Washoe Club. Oh God. What was it called? Anyways, it's in Virginia City.
Okay.
So
It's
like one of the
bars,
I think, or
I can't remember
the name of it.
but
It's called the crypt, and it's in the back of the building, and it's where they used to keep the bodies where they couldn't dig holes in the winter. And so we went in, and instantly, I'm taking pictures, and we feel this really cool draft. And I turn around, and I'm still taking pictures, And so this picture is of my ex, my daughter, and my ex's father. And it's almost like there's a picture with the two men, like some kind of weird dimensional thing. I don't know. It was I just don't get it. So yeah, it's interesting.
When we investigate different active locations, we try to, or even if we're not even sure if it's active, sometimes we'll just go check out someplace just to see if we get anything. We always take multiple pictures in one spot to see if there's anything moving or anything looks different. But
I have pictures. None of them look like this. You can clearly see all of them.
Every once in a while, we'll be taking a picture, and it happens when I'm running LiDAR too. I don't know if you ever mess around with LiDAR, but when I'm taking a picture, I'll take a picture, and like on my 35 millimeter, I'll take a picture, and it takes the picture. Then I go to take another picture, it takes the picture just fine. Then I'll take another picture, and my camera starts focusing in and out, like autofocus. I've even have it doing it like on a tripod. It'll autofocus in and out, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then I've had issues where we'll be doing LiDAR, and I'll be in a house and I'll see a bathroom. I'll be in this bathroom. I see a tub. I see where the showers surround. I'll see the toilet. I'll see everything. And I'm looking at it on the screen, and all of a sudden something comes between me, and like everything pixelates, like something flies by and comes in between me and whatever it is. And then there was one night I had like an image, and it was I'm looking at this wall, and this thing like a mass just come at me. And then it just like dissipated, and I'm like, okay, what was that? And it was maybe something like that was going on when you took that picture, because we always encourage people to take a lot of pictures in the same spot, then move on, because the evidence you get may just be that split second, and you just get that lucky shot. And if you're not taking multiple pictures, you might miss it. Because we had one show up one night in the full moonlight, and my recorder died, and guy was taking pictures, and he said, hey, I think I got something. I'm like, okay, I won't move. I'm going to hold perfectly still. I was like, take 5 more. He's like, really? I go, yeah, take 5 more pictures. Make 10 more if you can. He's like, why? I said, I want to make sure it's not a reflection or something bouncing off of me or whatever. And this thing showed up like a shadow in one picture. And it almost looks like a woman standing there with a hat on, like pointing at me or talking to me. And then the rest of it was nothing there. Just see the moonlight, the tombstones behind me, and everything. It was. It's on our Facebook, and YouTube, but it was pretty bizarre. That happened. Well, you want to look at a couple of videos of stuff that happened in the last week, and kind of get your take on it. We're supernatural here. We do everything. We do Bigfoot, any kind of cryptids, ghosts, aliens. Me too. The 3-eye atlas, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I had an optical illusion on last week. I was trying to hope for another one this week. I'm looking for that Jesus picture where you look at it, then you look up and you see Jesus. The one we had last week.
According to science, there's an optical illusion that will completely mess with your brain. This illusion was designed by scientists. Look directly at the red dot in the center. Don't look anywhere else. Keep your full focus on that dot. For the next 15 seconds, try not to blink. Just stare at the red dot. As you keep looking, you might feel like the pattern is shifting or blurring a little, but that's not the image. It's your brain playing tricks on you. All right, when my countdown ends, quickly look away from your phone and look around your room. You'll see everything around you start to rotate and move for a moment. 1, 2, 3. Tell me in the comments, what did you see?
That was awesome.
Pretty wild. I'm like, it's almost like everything starts getting euphoric. It's the closest thing I could find to what I think people experience when they eat one of those weird mushrooms out of the forest or whatever. But there's another.
Right.
There's a famous one where it's like you look at this weird image, like these look like smears, and you look up and then you see Jesus. I'm gonna try to find some more of those. I think those are kind of cool. This one here, we're gonna call this Creeper in the Barn. This is since you've been dealing with Bigfoot and experiencing, I would say you're dealing with stuff on an intellectual level that most people don't experience. Something's been contacting you, and to me, that's a gift. That's not something that everybody experiences. So I think that's pretty cool. So curious to see what you think about some of these. They're calling this one. Sometimes I rename these based on what it is, but I'm calling this one Creeper in the Barn.
This is said to be one of the scariest videos on the internet right now. Watch it and let me know what you think.
And she is fed and feisty. What are you doing, baby? Okay, so I fed her. I will feed the barn. Okay. Okay.
Did you see that? Do you realize what's going on right now? A lot of people think that because she lives in the Appalachian Mountains, there's some real paranormal stuff going on. A lot of people are upset with her, saying, why are you outside at night with your keys? I don't know what it is about the Appalachian Mountain and the keys, but it's a big deal apparently. At one point in this video, a lot of people noticed something very strange and creepy. If you were to go back to the beginning of the video, you would see exactly what everybody else is seeing.
Looked kind of like a guy just standing there with his head in the corner. I don't.
Yeah, like he was like living in her barn, hiding from her, like he didn't. She would see him, but you could hear that was real. She was starting to hyperventilate.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was I think there was a person in her barn. Is what I think it was. Maybe some hobo or something. He's just. But he wasn't looking. He was like turned, so he was hoping maybe she wouldn't see him. But he shouldn't have been in that hall, that alleyway between them stalls there. If he really wanted to be hiding, he should have been behind some bales of hay or something. But right. That's what they call it, a creeper, because he was just kind of like, there he is, standing there, but you can't see his face, like he's got his back turned like a Black Hood kind of thing. I'm like, who's this guy? Grim Reaper or something hiding out in the barn. He thought he couldn't see him. At first, I thought maybe it was staged, but I don't know. Her reaction is like, to me, that's a perfectly natural reaction to haul ass, get in the car. I'm like, I'm out of here, and then the car wouldn't start, and then they're like, why would they say something about her having her keys? You would always have your keys if you're drove out to the barn. I don't make any sense. Was she supposed to leave her keys in the car, or I don't know.
I don't know. I've never heard. I don't know.
I didn't either. Somebody from Appalachian wants to call in or send us a comment. That'd be cool. But it looked like she had the keys. The car wouldn't start. That'd make it even more scary. Yeah. It's like, here he comes. He didn't come out there, but this one here is supposed to be another ghost. Believe this lady. She sees something in the window of this house, and I've had a few other folks send me stuff like this. We had one on a couple weeks ago. I don't have it up right now, but there was a very historic hotel over here at Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee. The Donahoe had caught fire, and it was a total loss. And I actually stayed there one time. It was a really neat old hotel, but in the flames, it looked like you could see the head and the shoulder. It looked like a shape of a person, and so I get people sending me stuff all the time. They think they see a reflection or something peeking out a window at them. And I think that's what this one is. We'll roll this one. I'm calling this one Ghost in the Window.
I lived in a haunted farmhouse for 2 years, and I actually caught a ghost on camera with my first-gen iPhone. So first I'm going to show you the 100% unedited photo that I took. I went to get the mail, and I turned around, and I took this picture because I had just gotten my new car. So I took a picture of my car in the driveway. Then when I got into the house and pulled up the photo, I noticed noticed something in the window. So I zoomed in here on the unedited photo. This is, I believe, the woman ghost. This is actually from the dining room, and I saw the top portion of her translucent body in there one time walking around. So I believe that is the woman ghost that was in the house. There's quite a few ghosts there. But you can see her face and two hands on the window watching me from inside the house. I didn't get really bad vibes from her. There was an evil presence upstairs near the master bedroom and bathroom. I can tell more stories about that if you want. There was also a child there who loved to play pranks on me and my mom specifically. Used to lock my mom out of the house constantly. Used to set the fire alarm off for me when I was home alone and then laugh when I ran upstairs. Let me know if you guys want to hear more stories. Some of it is triggering.
Yeah, I can barely see that.
I saw something, but I wouldn't say it was a ghost or paranormal. But if it was just admiring her new car.
Yeah.
The ghost wanted to see a pretty new blue car too.
Yeah.
I think this guy. I need to get a hold of this guy because I look at a lot of his content, but I kept thinking he was a sheriff, but now I'm thinking he might be like if it's the same guy. I think he might be like a security guy because of his uniform stuff. But sometimes he has some really convincing stuff. Then he's got some other stuff that he's questioning it. We're questioning it too. But this one I'm calling poltergeist or fake. Do you think this is fake or poltergeist? I'll roll it and see what you think, and I'll let you know what I think.
This will be the scariest thing you see all week. Watch this video all the way through. Every time you see it, you're going to see and hear something different. This could be the best documented paranormal poltergeist infused houses I've ever seen.
You guys are hearing that, right? Hello? Ever since our cat passed away, things have kind of been picking up. I'm not going back there. Hello? Damn that. Who are you? Get the hell out of here. Jeez. Dude. Stop. Oh, dude.
You probably missed this. Watch this ball closely. It manifests out of thin air, out of nowhere. Watch.
Excuse me. Are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Now, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay, I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see this is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see the cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving.
Wow, that's one I seemed real just because of his reaction, because he was heavy breathing.
Yeah,
The first one I don't know.
I'm not so sure that it wasn't. I don't know if AI or it could be. I've seen some cuts and stuff like the ball materializing. I've seen guys do that where they cut and then splice the film and cut and edit and make it do stuff like that. So, and he was trying real hard to convince us that he was looking for something that he saw it in the refrigerator or the the reflection and everything. So
Right.
I don't know on that one. Part of me wants to think it could be real, but then a lot of it I'm thinking might have been faked somehow with technology. I didn't see strings on that swing. I was like, "Where's the string? Who's pulling it?" And then the ball come rolling out. And
But did you notice there was like a black thing behind it?
yeah, and then I also noticed every frame's got a line down the middle of it, and one side's shaded darker than the other. So I'm like, why is it doing that? I got a lot of cameras; they don't do that.
Yeah, there was a lot of about that.
Yeah, some red flags there.
Yep.
Thinking it could be faked.
Yeah.
Part of my thing I do every week, I've got some different objects, and they say dolls can become haunted objects. There's a lady I was following on TikTok, Ghost Girl Jen out of Florida. She's got a little haunted doll, and it actually sometimes she'll get like communication on her spirit box and stuff. So I've been testing out some different dolls. I had some clowns. People are freaked out by clowns. For the last few weeks, I've tried different dolls that I've picked up at different places, and I got some new ones tonight. I got a couple cat balls up here and some K2s, trying to see if there's any EMF going on, electromagnetic energy, which spirits are supposed to give off. And so far, nothing. I think I've went through about close to a dozen different dolls and stuff. Nothing. But
did you say something about clown?
What's that?
Did you say something about clown?
Yeah, I've had clowns the last 3 weeks, and then I've got these dolls here tonight. I'm not sure her name. This one up here is really weird. Her name's Ina, and I actually have an Aunt Ina. And there's a town in Illinois called Ina, and my Aunt Ina is named after my great grandma Ina May. So, if she doesn't, we don't get any activity out of Ina. I think my Aunt Ina's gonna get a really interesting Christmas gift this year. I don't know if she's watching or not. I'll spoil it, but she's a brunette too. But Aunt Ina's, if she's watching out of Wood River, Illinois, I got a doll. I opened the box, brand new, got a certificate and everything, got it at auction, but when I opened it up and said Ina, I was like, no way. So, Ina, if you're there, you want to say anything, or, light up the little ball there, or, this is active. I'll move it so you guys can see. It is active. I got another one on her. In her
Hey, Ina. That's cute. Cute.
Yeah, we'll see if anything happens. If it does, I know I'm going to hear about it from Cammie later. Yeah. She'll be like, why did you bring that in the house? She'll be in here with Sage.
I hate clowns. Like hate clowns.
Well, I've got a few clowns. Let's see, I think I got about 6 clowns sitting over here looking at me right now, but they're you know why I hate clowns? Because I grew up in Michigan, and I remember when Casey got arrested, and he went to prison, and then they were showing pictures of him dressed as a clown all the time. I was like, creeper. I've got some pictures. I may have to send them to you or post them on our page. But we went to the Oddities Museum in Alton, Illinois. I went over there. Actually, went to see Aunt Ina and her granddaughter. My cousin was getting married, and we went to. I'm a big fan of Troy Taylor. I don't know if you've read any of his books, but he does a lot of paranormal stuff in Illinois. He's done Haunted Decatur, Haunted Illinois. He's got a lot of different books. He's probably wrote like. I'd say he's probably written at least 50 books or more, and very prolific.
Yeah, it sounds really familiar.
And he has a haunted convention, and now he's doing different investigation at different sites, like where you'll go in and he'll have like a old hospital or some kind of business or old home or whatever. And he's doing organizing the ghost investigation, ghost hunts, where you could come in and you pay so much and go in and go through the property for the night, and he's doing that kind of thing. But his oddities museum, he had stuff from John Wayne Gacy there. He actually had some of his business cards, and he was with his clown picture, and there was stuff there from funeral homes. There were different things from circuses and like stuff you'd see in Ripley's Believe It or Not, like two-headed animals. Really neat stuff. But Vinny Voodoo, the other founder of our group, he's in a band. They're calling themselves Graveside Manor. Probably one of their most popular songs is about John Wayne Gacy. And that's like that's the part Vinny sings. He's like John Wayne Gacy, and I'll have to send you the song. I can send it to you.
You should.
It's pretty cool. If anybody ever gets a chance around the Bowling Green area, Glasgow, Horse Cave, I encourage you to go see Graveside Manor if you're into kind of like heavy rock. And they've got they do some cover stuff from Metallica, different things. They got their own, but the John Wayne Gacy is one of their original songs. And Vinny actually wants to go around and investigate different serial killers' grave sites and maybe some of their actual sites that they did the illicit activity.
Like the activities.
Yeah, there was one. I'm trying to think. The tombstone. They've actually replaced it like 3 or 4 times, and they had to move it a couple times. People are chipping off pieces of it and taking it home. I'm like, I didn't know these. What's the popularity with what these guys did was horrible, you know. And
I know.
It's like a cult following, you know.
It really is. It really is. I mean, like watch it, study it, you know, like in a sociological kind of way, I guess. But when you start like obsessing over it, that's kind of weird.
I don't mind clowns so much. I've even dressed up as clowns before Halloween stuff, but my thing's circuses. I'm not so crazy about the ones with elephants. If they have, and I don't mind seeing an elephant at the zoo or if I see one on Nat Geo, but when I was in, I think, 3rd grade, it's Decatur, Illinois, Millikan University. You can research this. I'm trying to remember the name of the circus, but I was there, and they were like college kids went over, and the elephants were like over in the corner. You know, they just keep them in the corner, and then there's like the lion tiger cage thing. And then they have a little ring in the middle where they do all their trapeze, and all there's, you know, the clowns come out in the little car. The elephants were just kind of over in the corner, just chilling out till it was their time, you know, to come out and do their thing. These kids, they're like college kids. They took a fire extinguisher and they sprayed the elephant in his privates on the back of the elephant and hit him with a broom and was spraying him with the fire extinguisher. And these elephants went berserk and they went flying out of there. And it was a 5-ring circus. They turned it into about a 2-ring circus real quick. So those rings are made out of like these big giant blocks and just plowed them down. People going everywhere. The last thing I saw for the elephants busted out the double doors. This lady grabbed this little child and threw him out of the way, and the elephant slammed her, and then all the elephants escaped, and that ended up being my mom's realtor. Broke her collarbone. Luckily, she lived through it, but she saved that little kid. But you know, we stayed up in the bleachers. We went way up high, and this circus was over for like 2 hours, and we're still sitting there like, no, we're not going to the car. We're terrified.
That's crazy.
We finally go out. It was like 2 hours later. We finally go out to the car, and there's these guys riding around little Jeeps with tranquilizer guns. They pull up, and they're like, "You guys see an elephant?" And we're like, "No." And then it was this was Decatur, Illinois. It was like in the Decatur paper, the Herald and Review. There were people reporting, "Hey, there's an elephant over here by Pizza Hut. Hey, this elderly lady, she saw one in her garden. Like it was, I don't know, eating her cabbages or whatever." Wow. And she thought she'd had too much to drink. You know, she's like, "I'm seeing an elephant." And it made the paper. It was, so after that, I'm like,
that's terrifying.
I don't even know if they have too many circuses anymore with elephants because they found out the way they train them is kind of cruel. And there's actually a guy who's he'll save up a bunch of money. He gets like a bunch of GoFundMe type money, and he'll go pick a different elephant every year because they use them over, I think, Southeast Asia for like instead of having a tractor or a truck, they use elephants. They go out and they use this elephant will be chained up for like 20 years hauling logs or something. And he goes and rescues him. He's like, "Look, I want your elephant." And they're like, "Well, that's my work elephant." And he's like, "I'll give you $100,000 for the elephant." The guy's like, "Okay." And then he buys the elephants, and then he takes them to this preserve and turns them loose, and they get to live out the rest of their life running around free. And
I love that.
yeah, there was a movie. I'm trying to think that movie where I think it was the guy who plays Wolverine was in it, and he was like part of the circus elephant trainer and whatever. And they
Hugh Jackman,
the
greatest showman.
Yeah, and after watching that, I had a whole different outlook. But I was there when the elephants escaped, so my thing is I'm not scared of elephants. I'm just not. I just don't think I would ever want to go to a circus with the elephants again. Cause, And those kids, I don't know if they ended up getting I think they got arrested. I don't know if they had they had to do time or whatever. But elephants
Still so cruel. I don't
hit them with a fire extinguisher, man. That was they went berserk.
That's.
Yeah, I don't have a phobia of elephants, but I sure as hell don't want to go to no circus with the elephants again. Here's one. This guy, he's got what is this? Some kind of, what I got here? Oh, apparition in the woods. This guy sees some kind of apparition out in the woods, which could fall into line with your portals and interdimensional beings.
I just came across the craziest paranormal video I think I've ever seen in my life, and it happened right back here in these woods. I'm at a horse stable right now, as you can see. And the other day I was walking over here to see a guy working the land. He works in the horse stable. Anytime I see a guy working the land, I always get curious, ask them questions. I'll ask, have you ever seen anything interesting out here? And oftentimes they'll say like, oh yeah, I've seen some coyotes. And so finally, as the conversation was warming up, I say, hey, have you ever seen anything out here you can't explain? The moment I said that, his eyes lit up. He was like, it's really weird you asked me that question. He's like, just last week, my buddy took the craziest video back in these woods. He pulls up his buddy's private Facebook page. So it's a private Facebook page. He tried to send me a link to the video. I couldn't see the video on my own phone. So I had to pull the video up on his phone and take a video of it. I've sent this to a bunch of people. I've not seen anyone be able to explain what the heck is going on in this video. So I'm going to show it to you guys. Check it out and let me know what you guys think. Now, what's super weird about that video is the guy who took the video won't even go back into those woods anymore. Did you see the dog in the video? That dog was growling and it was looking over into the area where the apparition appears. And it was just, what a crazy video. I can't believe it, and I haven't been able to figure out what's going on. I mean, what do you guys think?
That was pretty wild.
Yeah. I can't tell if it's AI or not.
It was like it was almost like illuminated, and then it just walked and went to that tree, and it was gone.
Yeah. Which is really crazy. I've seen stuff like that was real. But if I don't know you,
right?
I don't know if it's real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
You just see Barb Shoop as a video that she took some kind of creature as close and she the creature gone and you could see it through the forest and that was real.
We got a comment from another Cindy. Do you follow Lindsay Steer? She has a bunch of haunted dolls. I think I do follow her. I like the ones where they get the doll and something talks on the spirit box. It tells you its name, and a couple days later they bring it up and it gets the same name, and like the cat balls go off and whatnot.
Yeah, I just bought a bunch of cat balls.
Here's another Cindy. Never take anything home ever. Well, I've got a few dolls here.
I get a vibe off her first. Like Say, for instance, I went to the petroglyph in Washington State.
Yeah.
And they were really close to us. That was just for Native Americans. And there's like a walkway, like a wooden kind of boardwalk or something. And I was looking at the petroglyphs, and I was looking at the rocks at this time because I'm a rock counter. And I saw a rock. So I crawled underneath the, one of the things, whatever, through the and I grabbed the neck, and I crawled back through, and something just slammed me to the ground. And I busted both my knees. I really thought I broke a kneecap. I was in pain. So I threw that rock back, and I left. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I apologize. Please forgive me. I'll never do anything like that again.
They say if you're in Hawaii, like sometimes people pick up shells. I guess shells are okay, but they said rocks. They said if don't take any rocks home from Hawaii, and they're considered part of the island, sacred, whatever. And there's people who are like, oh, whatever, this is a pretty rock, I'll take it home. And then there's a lot of stuff shows up at the post office in Hawaii. People mailing them boxes they're mailing them rocks back. They have a weird experience and they'll mail them back. And I was like, really? And we're like, yeah. So I'm always picking up rocks, but when I went to Hawaii, I didn't bring any rocks back. I think might have got a couple shells or something, but
yeah. I never would have thought that would be offensive. You know what I mean? Like I had no clue.
Well, if you watch that old show, Jeremiah Johnson, I just kind of watched it here a while back after Robert Redford passed away. But if you've ever seen it, it's a classic film with him, and he ends up with a native wife, and they have a boy. There's the boy and everything, and some soldiers are coming through, and they're trying to go through the area or something. They wanted him to help guide them because he's like a mountain man of the area. And they get up to the Indian burial ground, and he's like, we need to go around. And he's like, the general or whatever is like, no, we're going to go through. And he's like, you don't understand, this is sacred ground. We need to go around. And he's, well, that'll take a whole nother day. He's like, take 2 days. And they're like, no, we're going through there. And they basically forced him to take them through there. And they did. He took them through there. And then as soon as he got him through there, he's heading back home, and he sees an arrow in the tree, stuck in a tree. And he knew it was from that tribe, and it was like a warning. So he starts going home as fast as he can get home. And he gets home, and they'd already killed his wife and his son. And then, so the whole rest of the movie is him and the interaction with this tribe having his revenge. Basically, he's like, oh, I shouldn't have went through there. It was a burial ground, but he didn't think it was bad enough to kill his family. So it's a really good show.
It sounds like it.
But there's some really brutal combat scenes in that movie where, I mean, it's just survival, one-on-one. And it's like, as soon as he sees them, it's on. Like, they throw down every time he sees these Indians. Like, he'll take on 3 or 4 of them at a time, even.
Wow.
It's a pretty good show, but that reminded me of that. Like, you don't want to take anything, from sacred ground like that.
Yeah. I guess I just didn't know how sacred it was.
Those people that take the serial killer tombstone pieces home, they might wish they hadn't have done that either.
Yeah. For sure. That's bad. We do.
This one. Let's see. I got a few more ghost things, and I got some cryptid stuff. I didn't know how late you want to go.
It doesn't matter. I'm good.
Okay.
Another 20 minutes.
We'll keep rolling then.
Okay.
I always try to ask. We'll keep rolling here. I got a few more videos, and we'll see what you think.
So this was a woman that said this something had took her dogs or took her animals, and she put a trail cam in the backyard and got this image Oh boy.
It was kind of hard to see, but it looked like it had this weird isolation behind it.
It kind of had a weird looking head on it.
eye.
I can roll that again if you want to see it again.
Yeah.
So this was a woman that said this something had took her dogs or took her animals, and she put a trail cam in the backyard and got this image. Oh boy.
I don't know.
Could that have been Christopher Walken?
Oh, right.
That brings me to our a segment we like to do, a little fun thing we do. This is our Christopher Walken. I think we need a little more cowbell.
I could have used a little more cowbell.
I love that.
We've got a device we made called the Paranormal Paramoo, and it's painted up like a cow, and we've got cowbells on it. We got a cowbell, and then in honor of Christopher Walken, we have more cowbell.
I love it.
We've actually got a little picture of Christopher Walken on there, and so we've taken it on a few investigations. The most movement we've ever got is the striker inside the bell. We've got it to move a little bit, but nothing's ring the bell. Cammy girl already told me. She said if that damn cowbell goes off, she goes, I'm running to the truck. She's like, I'll be out of here. So we bring in on a lot of investigations just for fun, but I'm like, they're like, you think anything will ring that cowbell? I said, I hope something picks up and throws it. I'm like,
yeah.
I want to see some evidence, but something kind of fun we do.
That's awesome.
Let's see what we got here. This was one I wasn't sure if it was fake or not.
My heart, like I cannot explain this feeling in my heart, like it just felt black, and I'm like, this is my vision. And you guys are like, wow, this sounds like such an amazing story. That is good, that is great. All the time, but there's more to it. And this is just wow. Looking back, I'm like, God, he just loves me so much, but. So I secured that wedding venue, it's great, everything is still like on the papers, I called Jules, who's like the PA for at the time, and so he came to work with me on the test that day, and this is new, this is my vision, and so fast forward to the wedding day. Fast forward to the wedding day.
The dog stares at an empty spot on the floor, slowly creeping forward as if it sees something no one else can. Then, out of nowhere, it backs away and leaves the room in fear. Courtney watches in confusion until a baby bottle suddenly slides across the floor and drops right beside her. Panicked, she grabs her child and runs. Courtney believes something paranormal is at play, while others think a guardian angel might be watching over the baby. Whatever the truth is, one thing's certain. Something strange is happening inside Courtney's home. In 2019,
That was totally staged.
You think?
Either that or it was AI. For sure. Yep. 100%.
Those ones with the dogs get me every time. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
The
Dogs don't move like that. And they don't move like that unless they've been trained to move like that. And the baby's spirit was turned away. Why would the camera be set up? Yeah, no.
I was wondering why the camera was set up, and then when the dog first started looking, I've seen dogs do that. I've seen them do that, look at something, but they'll usually growl but they won't go forward. If there's something really scares them, they might growl at it and they'll turn around with their tail between their legs and they'll haul ass the other way.
Yeah,
I've never seen a dog just kind of like put its head down and go toward whatever it was, and then whatever it was looking at. So
Right.
The dog staring, that was to me was believable, but the rest of it, I'm like,
Yeah, that's it. 100% fake.
if my dog's somewhere in a cemetery with me and he starts wagging his tail and looks like he sees a friend, I start taking pictures.
Yeah, right.
This one here was kind of interesting. This is a realtor, and she's out, I think, trying to show a property, and some freaky stuff happened to her. I've saw a couple realtor videos where they go in a house by themselves and they're just like, okay, here's the bedroom, here's the kitchen, trying to get pictures for their ad or whatever, and then it's like, uh-oh.
I've known realtors.
Yeah, that would help me actually. Yeah. Is that closet?
That's washer dryer hookups.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, sorry I kicked you. There's a person in there.
There's a person in there? Hello?
Come here. Come here. Come here. Hey, come here. Come here. What I told you. Come here. Fuck.
It's supposed to be a realtor video, but it kind of morphed into a couple other things. I don't. A person in a house is totally believable. I went when I was looking for this house. I was up here by Evanston County. My realtor, we went in this house. It was an old farmhouse. We went in there, and there was squatters in there, and we turned around and went right back out. We didn't finish look. We didn't look at nothing else. We're like, we're out here, and then she called the police. I've kind of yeah. I don't know the rest of those. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Let's see here. Okay, now this one I've watched it about 5 times, and I'm still trying to understand. This it's a father-daughter team, and I watched some of their stuff, and some of it I think it's just their acting is completely staged. And then this one here, I can't tell if they did create this. It's pretty interesting how they did it. I can't say if this was staged or not. I'm leaning toward it's fake, but it's just real interesting. Even if it is fake, I think it's interesting to see. I don't want to know how they did it, if they did fake it.
Yesterday we captured the scariest, most disturbing video we've ever captured. This is why we're preempting this video with this warning. We capture what happens when a camera actually goes through a portal, and it's really freaky.
Really disturbing.
Yeah, watch the entire thing, guys. This is like gonna blow your mind. Okay.
Dad?
Yeah.
Where are the cameras?
Table and the shelf, just above the Hoover.
It's not here.
Hey? Yeah, there. I put batteries in them both.
It's not here. I thought I heard it fall.
It fell off.
Well, that's what it sounded like.
On the floor? I would have heard it in the kitchen.
Well, where is it?
Have a look. We can't go far, Kays. Behind the sofa? Has it gone in our room or something? I'm 100% turn this off. I'm going out.
Whoa!
What's up?
Fucking camera's just fallen through the ceiling.
What do you mean it's fallen through the ceiling?
Fucking portal.
A portal?
Yeah.
Hold up. I've got a camera here. You joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Are you pissing around?
I'm not pissing around. Just falling through the fucking ceiling.
Hold that. It's still recording. Hold it. Hold that. Hold that. That's just me. That's me. Still recording.
What the fuck? I'm not shitting you. Literally just falling through the ceiling.
It's been recording for what? How long ago did I think? Oh, hold up. 39 minutes.
Fucking hell. What?
So it's
Oh,
gone
we
through
need
a
to go
portal.
through that footage.
That's a first.
That
Right,
was
let's go
mad.
have a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. That's mad.
Oh my God. What the hell?
This next piece of footage is from the camera that goes in the portal. So viewer discretion is advised.
Whoa!
What's up?
Fucking camera's just fallen through the ceiling.
What do you mean it's falling through the ceiling?
Fucking portal.
A portal?
Yeah.
Hold up. I've got the camera here.
What the fuck?
You joking?
I'm not joking.
Are you pissing around?
I'm not pissing around. Just falling through the fucking ceiling.
Hold that. It's still recording. Hold it. Hold that. Hold that. That's just me. That's just me game. Still recording.
What the fuck? I'm not shitting you. Literally just falling through the ceiling.
It's been recording for what? How long ago did I think? Oh, hold up. 39 minutes.
Fucking hell. What?
So it's gone
we
through
need
a
to
portal.
go through that footage.
That's a first.
That
Right,
was
let's go have a
mad.
look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. That's mad. Look.
What the hell?
Well, what do you think of that one?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
There's
want to
like
be.
some
Don't want to
weird-
be mean.
Yeah, there's like some
But-
weird voices
but-
when it was going through there. I'm thinking, okay, I think they completely made all that, staged all that up, but it was.
Yeah, yeah.
It
It was really good editing.
Yeah, good editing and the good acting and.
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
I'm
Not even
pissing
good
around.
acting. Because I don't know if you ever watched the behavior panel, but like right away, we start laughing. That's like I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, we just accomplished pulling it off. Let's
Like,
it's
like,
funny.
yeah, exactly. When you're in the moment, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
You're shocked and you're surprised. Laughing comes later when you retell the story. You know.
I'm gonna jump around here a little bit. This one here, since you've seen some of these things and had encounters, I want to know if you think this is a bear or a Sasquatch. And I've watched it about 10 times and I'm struggling with it. And since you've actually had actual encounters, I'm curious to see what you think. Or if you think it's just completely made up. We're gonna roll the bear or Sasquatch. This was a trail cam. Something come up and like looked at a trail cam. Supposedly.
If you're from Georgia, submitted his trail cam footage, and it appears it's just a bear looking in a trail cam. Or is it? Okay, the more I look at it, the more I see, but I barely noticed anything. But then I noticed the eyelashes, and I thought, very well manicured bear. Watched it again, I noticed the eyes look human-like. On down to what I thought was a snout. I wish we could see more of that. The ridges on its nose, right down there, like almost, I don't know, I was going to say scale-like, but maybe that's just what it looks like up close. The longer I look at it, the longer I can tell it's not a bear. But what is it? The guy that sent it in doesn't know. He wants us to figure it out. He did say in the mountainous part of Georgia that he lives that there is talk of Bigfoot. He's not much of a believer, but he has definitely heard rumblings of Bigfoot, Sasquatch, other type creatures in his area. Anyhow, I don't want to beat this clip over the head because it's not very long, but I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn because I'm not familiar with anything that looks like that. It's definitely not like a mask.
No.
Or something.
I thought it might be an owl because birds of prey, their eyes face forward. And like birds that are prey, their eyes are on the side of their head. Like a chicken's eyes on the side of its head, but owls and hawks and falcons, their eyes are on the front, and they have eyelashes, and but it's got kind of like skin around it. But birds have skin on their, like chickens, their whole wattle and their combs, and turkeys, the whole thing skin. So I don't know. I thought it might even be a bird, but it was really intriguing. I thought.
If it was an owl, the eyes more round.
A lot bigger, I would think.
A lot bigger. And if it was a smaller bird, the eyes would be more on the side of the head. And the head would be very small.
Yeah, this thing's got a little bit bigger head, but I don't think it's a bear because bears got like way more fur around their eyes, I think.
You'd be able to tell. This is not an eye that I've ever seen. It's so strange.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
But then I've heard that people who have seen Sasquatch up close the day, they have human eyes.
Yeah. I've seen some of those. This one, I call this dog man hauling ass because it was this thing's going. So this may be one of those things like you saw a shadow that's going real fast. And so this to me is something going real fast, and I was just calling it dog man because it's kind of what it looks like. But let's see if this looks like anything that you may have seen.
I have some amazing home security footage for you. This was captured around October 4th of 2025. And I do not believe this is a ghost. I think this is an actual supernatural that was captured moving very fast across the screen. I have slowed it down so you can kind of make out what this creature is. And it almost reminds me of a dog man. Take a look at this footage, comment below, let me know what you see.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but, like, everything in the background, the trees and everything are moving. It looks like it's been either spliced or it's untampered with in some way.
Yeah, because it was actually leaving a little bit of a shadow, but it was kind of choppy.
It was very choppy, and you could tell by the way that the trees were moving and stuff that it was like the film was manipulated.
This one, I'm calling this a Talmina squatch because of where it was. The location is Talmina, and it's kind of intriguing. We'll see what you think of this one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's absolutely a possibility. I've seen this many times.
It could be legit because they were a little blurry. Everything else is clear. Everybody always tells me, well, if it's blurry, it's got to be a real Bigfoot picture because they're blurry.
Right. Their eyes, the eyes fit for me.
It was like a mom and baby, like a big one, a little one, and like the little one's following the mom, you know?
Yeah.
And they were on two legs.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely some eye shine going on there.
Yeah, and I don't know if eye shine, it's eye glow.
Okay. Like a phosphorescent kind of thing almost.
Yeah, I saw. That's what I saw was when I had a third sighting.
Like with it picks up the light, or they're just glowing without light.
No, they emit light.
So their eyes are like designed to see in the dark, and they're pulling everything in. And
that's a theory. We don't know why they glow. I mean, I thought maybe it's so they can see each other, like where each other are in the dark.
Yeah.
There's so many theories about what it is. I saw it.
This one, I'm trying to remember this. I labeled this one Camp Bigfoot, real or fake. I don't know if this is the one I'm thinking of where Bigfoot just kind of like comes through the camp. This may be that one. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what we got going on here.
All right. We're strolling in. Here we are. First night, Camp Bigfoot. Taking a stroll down the road. We've had possible sightings. We've heard definitely some Sasquatch sounds. There's one right now. There's one. Wait. Shh. Here we go. Oh my God, there it is. What is that? What is it? Is that a bear? That's a, oh my God. What is it? All right. All right, yeah, we get the fuck out of here. Back up slowly. Back up slowly. Back up slowly. All right. It looks like it's starting to get aggressive. All right, let's back up. So you got that 45, right? 45, right? All right, here we go. I think it's going away. Let's just stay here. Keep your distance. Keep your distance. If it gets close, fire a warning shot.
They can definitely fake. I heard at the end they go cut.
I know, right? Yeah, I know.
The Bigfoot just comes walking through the camp and like comes up and like smacks a tent. But I think I played that one last week. I don't see it on here this week, but it was. I think that's most. Let's see.
That last one. That howler, whatever it was, he was that close. It would sound louder than a lion's roar.
Oh wow! It wouldn't sound like a guy going. Huh?
Exactly.
Let's see. I think I have a. Oh, I think I got another video of something going by real fast. Unless this is the same. Make sure it's not the same one. Nope, this is a different one. This is a different video of something going by really fast.
Now, at first, that scared me when it happened. One more time, okay?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I thought maybe it was a bat flying by the lens. That's what I was thinking it might be.
It could be.
It was going by pretty fast, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was really
good. Let's see, I got a couple more videos, and then we're about through them all. This is a guy, and I'd never heard of this. It's almost like a conspiracy thing, but he calls himself a Jesuit assassin, like he's part of some secret government program, and he's just dropping all kind of information here in this video, which I'm not take it with a grain of salt, but it was kind of interesting what he's saying here.
I've seen physical beings that are definitely not like our animals up here come out of these spaces from inside the earth. I've seen in deep underground military bases dogmen, like you would kind of describe them, some more humanized. And I think a lot of those were experimentation and genetic splicing. I think a lot of that was gene editing stuff that I've seen. But I do believe that some of these things are holdovers from the old days. They're the last of their kinds, and they've been breeding them, right? And I believe that that's the stuff that's prophesied that's going to come back out and cause the hearts of men to stop for fear of looking after these things that are coming up on the earth. You know, that's why everywhere I went throughout my youth, I could go to these tunnels and these caves and call out, and I could hear them and they would call back, you know, and it's like, it's a seductive power that draws you back into it.
You could call out to them? Like, was it like a language or a sound or what?
Oh yeah, man. You can learn to call to them. You can go out here in these hills out here and do it. You can still do it tonight on these full moons and stuff. You can start calling out and you'll think you'll hear coyotes at first. And then all of a sudden it's a totally different, you know, it's a different sound that starts to resonate. And then it's a different one that calls off from over here, right? You got to understand, some of these guys that you think are just neighbors and stuff, or just people, this is what they keep in their barn. This stuff they keep. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I go out hunting for these things.
I understand. I understand completely, man. I was that being said, I got hooked back into it with Timothy Alberino and Steve Quill and a lot of these guys when I was married, and my wife didn't know anything about this whole stinking world of who I was and everything else.
How'd you meet your wife if she didn't know who you were? You suckered her. You suckered her.
That's a way to put it, man.
She's still with you, so she loves you. You know,
bro. She's all in, man. She's amazing. Cool. She is my shield bearer, man. She's amazing. We have waged a war together beyond your wildest imaginations. She has seen the full force of the occult come after us, and people slaughtering sacrifices to try to desecrate us, and people try to hunt us and murder us in front of her face.
She's
man,
seen it
in front of my children's face. They've sent special kill teams after us in front of my children's face, man. And I have seen the living power, man. Recent.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
That being said, man, I do believe that there is a hierarchy and you can call upon the Most High, man, and he has delivered us. And I've never had to fire a shot at any of these guys. I haven't had to take out their drones. I have seen supernatural intervention. I've seen their weapons jam in front of my face, like chapter in the book called Murder on Their Minds, where I talk all about it, man. I've seen him provide supernatural miracles because you got to understand, we're dealing with the fallen. We are not dealing with the Most High. And he owns a much more powerful arsenal. And let me tell you, at his word, all these nations, kingdoms, and thrones will bow. And it's an absolute reality. It's an inevitability. And so that's why I serve him, man, because I've seen what the power of covenant is. And I had a covenant with the law of sin and death before in my life, but now I have a covenant with the Most High of peace and life. And he's given me a new purpose. He's given me a family. He's given me a mission. He's given me the opportunity to do the things I dreamed of when I was that little.
He's kind of out there.
That's the funny thing is that there's a lot of people like him.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Well, I've been on investigations where we went in, so people were having problems, like something was physically messing with the homeowner, and we went and gathered evidence, and definitely got some evidence of something there. Probably one of the most physical things I got two guys on my team. They're both pretty big fellows. They're both probably 6 foot. They're both well over 200, probably 200, 250 pounds at least. They're big guys. And I already went through, checked everything. And one of them gets to a door and he's like, "Hey, I can't open this door." He's like, "Will you come help me?" So the other guy comes to help him. They're messing with this door. The door don't even have a lock on it. It's an interior door. And they're starting to push, and both of them are pushing on this door, and all of a sudden they get it to move a little bit, and something shoves them both backwards. And that's been about 2 years ago. They're still freaked out about it.
Yeah.
One guy was very skeptical about everything paranormal. After that, he's like, "No doubt, there's something going on." And so a Catholic bishop actually came in after us and cleansed the house and helped cleanse the homeowner and everything. And he thought it felt a little lighter and everything was okay. And then about a month later, she called us again. She said, "There's something walking around in my attic." She said, "I hear it jump down. I hear something messing around in my kitchen." And she goes in there with her dog. There's nothing there. The dog's kind of freaked out, but nothing. So I brought in my demonologist, and he did his deliverance. He has a whole deliverance ceremony he does, and he prayed with her, and but everything he does is Christianity based, and but it's kind of like there's a whole different like procedure that you have to do, and after he did all that, everything got pretty quiet after that. But he makes his own anointing oil, but the first time he was supposed to go with us, and this could be all a complete coincidence, but me, I'm not very sensitive at all, so I was like, "Okay, we're going tonight." This is the first time we were going to this home. We're like, "Okay, I'm good." Like, you ready to go? Yeah. So the Catholic bishop was supposed to come, and he got like a migraine headache that day out of nowhere. He said, I got to cancel. I can't come. Then I had another lady on the team start getting sick, throwing up. She's like, "I can't come." Had another lady started getting kidney stones that night. And then my demonologist was going to get the oil to make his anointing oil. And right there in the store, he started getting this super bad migraine and started throwing up. So 3 of us ended up going, but all that happened on the same night. before we even went to this house.
Yeah, this is
The two guys that could probably do the most damage to something evil or bad got attacked the worst. And my guy Gary that hears stuff talking to him, he had some stuff talking to him as soon as we got there, and then after that he didn't hear anything else. But it was almost like you go into your K2s goes off, and then it quits, it moves, and it's over here somewhere, and then it was like something was running from us. And then I had the one other weird thing I had, like I got one here, these cat balls. Something has to shake these. They're pretty reliable. They're just a cat toy, but we use them a lot.
I have those.
So we're at this house, and the cat ball comes rolling out of the bedroom, just rolls out in the middle of the floor, like something rolled it. And I pick it up, and it's turned off. Like I turned this one off, it's not doing anything. And this is one of the newer ones with the recessed button. You can't accidentally turn it off.
Right.
So I turn it back on. I take it back, set it in the middle of a bed, left it there the rest of the whole night. Come back at the end of the night, pick it up. It's still going. Can't explain that. But like that guy, he was calling himself a Jesuit assassin, basically. I have seen when we've dealt with something that's physically bothering somebody, attacking them, whatever, that it takes a person that's like a deliverance type demonologist minister to come in, and everything he does is pretty much, it's kind of like doing the Lord's Supper prayer, basically, but going around and saying the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. You say the other three things, which is the bad part of it. And, so there is, I think there is something to that. If there is evil, there's got to be good. We had another gentleman we went to help out that we didn't find out till after we got there. His son had went over to somebody's house, was playing around with a Ouija board. We don't know if he opened up something or definitely something followed him home, because there was no activity till he did this. But he didn't tell us. We didn't know anything till we got there that he'd been messing around with some occult type stuff. So we ended up having to. That was a real weird one, because when they would leave for work, something would walk around the house and mess with him. And then when the dad and the mom and everybody come home, it was quiet. And when we got there, we had a lady with us who was very sensitive. And she said, "Phil, there's too many people here. Whatever it is, it's up next door." She goes, "What's next door in that old house?" And then, he was like, "Well, that's my grandparents' house." She's like, "Well, let's go over there." And as we went over there and we started getting some stuff on LiDAR, we got some REM pods going off. We got some things on. We had one lady doing a Estes, and every time the sensitive lady would walk in, she was like, "Well, the bitch is back." I'm like, "What?" And she'd walk out, and then she'd come back, walks up. She's like, "Hey, Phil, I'm back." And it said the same thing again, And the other lady's got headphones on. She's in another room. She can't hear who's coming or going, nothing. As soon as the other lady walks in the house, she's like, "Bitch." I'm like, "What?" What did she say? And then about that time, Gary's like, "Phil, something just grabbed my arm." And it was getting kind of intense there. So he went ahead and cleansed that house, because the sensitive lady's like, "This is where this thing's hiding. It went over here, it's hiding." And when everybody leaves for work, it comes back to the other house, and it's messing with this teenage boy. And so we actually had a preacher there that night, plus a demonologist. We had our clairaudient and other sensitive, and very interesting. But it kind of took something. This guy's calling himself Jesuit assassin. So it's like, who do you pray to if you want something to get bad out of your house? So I can't explain it. I just know that everything got quiet after that, and whatever was going on, I'm recording and documenting everything. And then we've got into some situations where we had someone who was very, very adept at Reiki, and had a lady on the team. She's a full Reiki master. The house we were at, the lady considered herself like a Reiki 2, whatever. And
yeah.
And there was something going on in that house, and it was calling them, calling them names and everything else, and same kind of situation. It called this lady a bitch. And she was like, "What?" And then she said the name. The name happened to be a guy that lived at that house 20 years before that. He'd already went to jail and prison and died in jail for doing some bad things to little kids. And so that night, she did like a fire cleansing, she called it. And same kind of thing. They cleansed the house and everything got quiet after that. But it wasn't 100% like a demonologist would do with all the prayers and everything. It was a whole different type ceremony. So I've seen different types of ceremonies and different ways of getting rid of things or cleansing houses and that kind of stuff. And most people just burn some sage, and pray, and hope it leaves. And that's probably good enough if it's really nothing much going on. But
yeah, it's hard to see. Like once you read the concept of angels and demons up into it.
Yeah.
That's a totally different. You have to believe in God.
Yeah. Yep. It's like, and we don't do a whole lot of home visits, but those were two cases that stuck out in my mind that were something people were actually being physical.
Yeah. Actually, what he was saying, aside from the fact that as assassins or whatever, I've heard that before from other people.
It was interesting how he was saying that he got into like a firefight and all of a sudden higher power took over and helped him out. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was different.
We were at an old church one night, and I got something weird on my SLS, which I kind of take SLS with a grain of salt. It's like a structured light system, and sometimes it'll see a lamp and think it's a person. It's looking for a stick image of a person. But we had this thing on a tripod, been there all night, and this lady's up at the pulpit, and this stick man thing, like popped up in the corner, and it was like, it didn't look like a stick man. It looked almost like a flower, like a ball, like little tentacles coming out. And then it shot like a little tentacle over and was getting on the back of her neck. And then it would come back. And I said, "Do you feel anything?" She's like, "Well, it's a little cold." I'm like, this thing basically was hovering in the corner and just kept coming over, touching her like 20 feet away. And we had a lady doing necrophonics, and she said, "Angels." And then we had I think we had a spirit box, and it said angel. And I was like, well, this thing don't look like a regular stick person. I've got the video. I put it up on our YouTube and stuff. But the only other thing I could think of is the lady's name was Angela. So I'm like, oh, maybe it was something was trying to say her name, but can't explain it, So you're Oregon based. You're down in Louisiana right now, down in Nolens, hanging out. That's cool.
Yeah,
There's a lot of voodoo stuff down there. My a demonologist, he studied voodoo, went to New Orleans and studied, so he's pretty prolific with that too. If we ever run into anything like that, but
I'm not looking for it. But I'm excited. The energy is really. I'm vibing with it. It's really, I'm energized. I can feel it.
Well, down in Louisiana, they got the Rougarou.
Yeah, they do.
It's a creature down there. You go a little east, you're going to run into skunk ape. Over there by Florida, they got the skunk ape.
Yeah.
And then Texas has a little bit shorter Bigfoot. Theirs are like 6 foot, about as tall as they get down there. My first Bigfoot convention I ever went to back in the 90s was the first ever Texas Bigfoot Research Convention. And I think I met Dr. Bendernagel there. And trying to think who the other guy was. I kept thinking it was Matt Moneymaker, but me and him met later and he swore he's never been there. So it might have been somebody else. I met Smokey Crabtree from the Fouke Monster. They got the Fouke. We were right there close to Fouke, Arkansas, at the Texas Arkansas border, and he did a whole talk. And they actually played the part of the movie, the Legend of Boggy Creek, and got to meet Smokey, and he just told it just like it, like it happened, like yesterday to him when he was a kid and everything. So that was kind of cool getting to meet him. And we've lost some of those folks. We just lost Dr. Meldrum this year. I don't know if you ever met him, but
I did.
Super nice guy. He looked at my pictures of my footprint, and it was kind of cool because the footprint I have a cast of, Thomas Shea, he's out of, I think he's out of Carrollton, Kentucky, and he's been tracking some different creatures up that way for a while. He actually had Dr. Meldrum check all of his prints and told, basically told him they were all legit. They had mid-tarsal ridge and everything in them because their feet don't leave a footprint like humans. They've got that mid-tarsal break and the ridge and everything. And he actually, I think he signed all of them and stuff. And we didn't know that at the time. This was earlier this year. We didn't know he was sick, and he passed from the cancer and everything. But
I don't think a lot of people, aside from the people who are very close to knew.
Yeah, and then so I don't know who the go-to guy is now. If you find a footprint, he was the guy. So it's like but his talk was very interesting. He was saying our footprints and the ones in Russia are almost identical on the type of footprints. But then he said the ones they find up in like Nepal, the supposed Yeti, those look more like a monkey paw, like a hand.
Yeah.
He had pictures of
like an orangutan.
Yep. And then he showed Australia had like 10 different kinds of stuff. He said, I don't know what's going on in Australia. But one thing one thing they did notice, any areas of the earth where we've pushed animals into almost extinction, these small pockets, like one thing they studied was the tigers. You got your Siberian tigers. You've got the other tigers like over in India or wherever. Wherever these tigers are, they're in little pockets of the country. And he was showing us little red dots where these tigers were. Those are the same areas they're finding Bigfoot prints. It's like you're talking about. You don't want to go show somebody where you're seeing these creatures because, people have a tendency to push them out, or, they keep going to smaller areas. And a lot of the creatures that I've grown up hearing about, like especially Illinois, we got the big muddy monster in Illinois. And I've talked to guys that back in the 60s had encountered these things, and you just don't hear about them anymore. So I'm like, did they migrate? Did they move somewhere else? Or one of my theories is we have sprayed so much chemicals, and the water coming out of a cornfield now is, if you got pesticides in it, and Bigfoot's drinking that water, they might have all died of cancer by now. That's one of my theories. I'm like, well, you don't see them anymore because they've got too many chemicals in them and they've all died off,
Right.
Well, I don't have anything else for this week. Did you have any questions for us or anything you want to shout out to anybody with your plug in? You got any books or you got any kind of groups you want to mention that you're in or anything like that? Or
I do. My Home Oregon Sasquatch Research Group.
Okay.
So we're grassroots, and all of our research, all of our evidence is there. And I don't really share it with anybody else. So, you're more than welcome to check us out. And we don't allow trolls. We don't allow people who call us liars or crazy.
We don't either. To me, it's just completely disrespectful, and
they're not researchers.
No, and I've got people on my team that they hear stuff talking to them, stuff like that, and to me, a couple of them are pretty brave. They've come out, but basically like, look, I hear stuff talk to me, but for a long time they wouldn't mention it to anybody because they're afraid they get sent away, to the sixth floor at the hospital or whatever. And what's our definition of crazy? What the medical books have told us, and I've had people say, well, they're hearing things in their head. Maybe they're schizophrenic. I said, well, maybe you got to be schizophrenic to hear it. I don't know, but the way I see it, if you could turn it off and on, it will. To me, that's a gift. But if you have to take medication to get the voices to stop, and you're just hearing random stuff, that could be something mental, mental illness or chemical imbalance, whatever. But we don't know.
Those voices are taking your life.
Yeah. And we don't judge anybody here. So I see anybody harassing anybody in my group, they're gone. Or they're publicly doing anything. We don't tolerate it, and we feel like it's a safe space to come talk and have discussion. And people on my team, that's one of the things they like about it. They're like, look, I'm talking to aliens, and you don't say, you don't judge. I'm like, no, we don't know what you're talking to or what you're not talking to, but we're not going to make fun of you. We want to know what you're experiencing, and so we don't have a big group. We're not trying out recruit and have some big giant group. We just have a handful of people, and we've got a few sensitives, and we're low drama. We try to keep it that way. So, but you have to, if you're out investigating something, and then we take safety pretty serious. If somebody's feeling sick, we pull them out. If they're having a medical emergency, we shut down. We're done. When Lady Sugar went low on us one time, we're like, nope, we're done. And so I do appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Some of your experiences, what you've went through, and how you've kind of been communicating on a conscious level with something, and then you go out in the woods, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm the one that's been coming to see you.
I've known you.
Like, that. I'd be asking him more stuff like, okay,
I'm working on that.
You're still working on it?
Yep. I'm still really hard for me to control it. I don't have any control over it right now.
The only thing I would say, be careful. If it gets too intense, just, shut down and get out of there for a while. Because, like, talking to Martin Groves, the guy who's, he said it's like an infrasound type communication, and he said sometimes it gets too intense. He said it can actually be too intense for humans even. So he said if you ever get in a situation where something's communicating with you like that and it gets too intense, just get out of the area, shut it down, go take a break.
100%.
Just be careful. The other thing I would say, Oregon, even around here, we have black bears come up through here and stuff, but make sure you have some kind of protection. Bear spray is probably one of the best things. You're out in the same kind of area where there's bears. I think I'd rather run into a Bigfoot than a bear, actually.
Totally. I have a bear spray. I have bear bells, and I have an air horn.
I would probably back that up with something, probably a firearm too. But if they can smell it and sense it, maybe you don't want to do that. It's like Martin won't take a propane lantern, and he doesn't like to use a lot of flashlights. He takes a kerosene lantern because he said that they're used to that kind of smell from back in the day, and it won't scare them off. But other types of lights will. But over Land Between the Lakes, we got wild pigs coming up here now. And that's probably the most scariest thing you're going to run into over there. You hope if you see a dog man, you see him from 100 feet away, he's not in your face. But these wild pigs, I know some guys deer hunting over there. He said they're no joke. He said they come through like a bulldozer. He said you better be ready. Have a firearm on you or some kind of, something to stop them or deter them. I don't know if bear spray works on a wild boar or not. It'd be interesting.
I don't know.
But
we don't have board in the campaign, so
there you go. Yeah. But we appreciate you coming on, and be safe out there. And anytime you want to get in touch, you come back on, or you want us to come on one of your programs, we'll be glad to share our evidence and some of our experiences.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, well, you have a good night, and appreciate everybody tuning in to this Supernatural Sundays. Come on, we're getting ready to roll into the Christmas season next week, so We'd maybe try to get one more in before the holidays. So y'all have a good week. Thanks, everybody. Come on.